Welcome to the 5 worksheets I use for life and business at every keynote, workshop, retreat, and one-on-one with my clients. So if you need a recap of what I talked about as the foundation to knowings, what I built it on, what I've been using, that's what we're going to dive into today. So what, now what, for what asks us to evaluate what are we even talking about here? Something that needs to change. So what? Now what am I going to do about it? And what is this ultimately for? That's one way to look at it. Knowings is where logic and intuition meet, the confluence within our heart. So I use the example often of the infinity symbol, and this aligns with that. Where logic and intuition meet, we have more harmony and flow. Why? Because we're looking at what part of our shadow self we want to walk away from. So we're talking about our pride and ego, or that angel and devil on your shoulders, and how we're always walking knowing both are with us. So we need a kind of balance of sorts. That confluence, that flow, helps us see where that intersection is. And then we can evaluate, what are we walking towards? So often in the keynotes or workshops, we're talking about leadership in our roles. We're talking about making big changes in our life. Maybe we're walking away from a relationship to walk towards ourselves. Maybe we're walking away from a career to walk into what we ultimately always wanted to do. There's lots of things that we can be walking away from and towards. We look at our core values first. What do you rest well knowing at your heart, in your core? Who are you at your core? And when you rise, it's for what purpose? Core values are about who you are. Management values are about what you do. So often, and the worksheets you're going to see attached to this little mini video, mini course, are about what is the lie you're telling yourself, like that you need to stay, that you can't go, that you are destined to be in a place of struggle or fear, that in this lifetime you don't get anything other than what you think. I've heard it all. But we address what is the lie, and then we get to the opposite side. We really need to look at the opposites, and we ask ourselves, what is the truth though? So if the lie is I can't leave this relationship, the truth is I'm living miserably and I need something to change. So then we need to look at our time management, and where we are in the middle. The two circles with the overlap, the Venn diagram, are asking us, what is the middle? It's like when a pendulum swings and it has a middle. That's what we're trying to get to. We also look at our core values, our management values, how we're using our time. And another way to look at the middle is the worksheet with the tree on it, is how I often teach rolling out what is at the heart of the matter. What is your value or vision that's at the heart of it? What needs to be closest to it in the first ring around it that's going to help support it and make it happen? In the third ring around, what are we going to be looking at that needs to be farthest away from the place of making that happen because it doesn't support it? We'll get to it if we can, but at the heart, we're focusing on things that we can control. With our management values, we want to make sure we understand that our core values are there for who we are, and management are separating our work from ourselves, creating space to see where we're at and where we can grow from and to. So we can have goals with our work, we can have goals with our projects, with our roles, and we always need to remember that when we take our work hat off, we keep the work at work, and on the other side, we get back to ourselves when we have our time. Inevitably, grief and loss is going to be part of this discussion. I love this diagram. I've been using this for a decade. This is the truth about a methodology on grief, that we would go from the left side of loss and hurt and make our way through this scale and get to be in a place of adjustment. We will get there. And grief's a beast. It shows up differently all the time. And this is what it can look and feel like: loss of a job, loss of a relationship, loss of a person, loss of a dream, the way you thought it would go. All of those things we have to look at. Then we look at our goals. My teacher, Miss Baxter, who I dedicate knowings to, goals not written down remain only dreams. So we look at our priorities, objectives, tangibility of them, and then we set goals. And then we ask ourselves, we have to analyze ourselves. Are my core values and actions and activities aligned? Does this bring me back to a place of joy and peace? And we also ask ourselves with our management values, do I like how I'm showing up and leading? We can turn these into vision boards or vision journaling and find different ways to express or channel right or pull through us what we're ultimately trying to pull out and create with these things. And a few examples of those that I've done are vision journals for how I want to feel at work, places I want to go, different reasons I choose the art that I choose if I'm going through different things in my life and I want it to symbolize or emphasize something. I've done this for years. I've had 65 journals I kept since I was 8 years old, and those make up the book Knowings. Here's a box of some of them here. And I always retreat also. At times, I've taken other people on retreats, and it's a time to get away from life as it is and move towards more of what you ultimately want to create. If you want to work with me, you can reach out at jill@owlseek.ca and keep checking out the different programs that are dropping here in school. And I look forward to connecting with you soon.